Hello there, everybody! Oh, I lost my voice. Let's take that again. No, my joking. Thank you very much for having me here today. It's Belfast Whiskey Week.
Yay!
In your house. It's in your house. It's in your house. I'm in your house. No, seriously, I'm in your house. Go to the kitchen. We've got the addresses on your tickets. So go to the kitchen. Your kettle chips have gone. But that is unrelated. No, thank you very much for having me here in your home during lockdown. Paying a wee bit of money even though you're furloughed for Belfast Whiskey Week. You might be the sugar daddy I need. I am broke. My comedy was paying me nothing before and 80% of nothing. Well, if you're out there and you do enjoy this and you want to send me some money, just get in touch. I'm looking for a sugar daddy, but I will also accept a Canderel cousin, or a sweet and low aunt. They're all types of sweeteners that you had in times before. No, it's good to be back doing comedy. Like, you know, I've missed like, for instance, what do you do?
What do I do?
No. Sorry guys, that's the cameraman. That's the cameraman not understand his place in society. This is why we need AI. It doesn't get involved in situations. It just kills your children in 1,000 years from now. No, sir. What do you do? Pathetic. Some sort of charity work. Are you two together? Oh, sorry, brother and sister. Well, don't know where this is broadcasting, but no. Some of you may be feeling a bit, a bit ashamed. You've fallen on hard times. The money's dried up. Move back in with the mother. My advice: just move back into the house. Don't go the whole way. Take a wee second there. No. No, it was good. It was good, wasn't it? Like I'm sure some of us would like to re-enter the womb. I suppose it's a lot like the kind of world we're living in now, because we're all doing things, we're all reflecting. Like I like to think of the time I lived inside my mum. It was a time when I really grew as a person. No one laughed at that in the room or at home. But I did take my usual stand-up pause where I step back and forth like I'm doing some sort of Charleston or something like that. Oh wow, it's weird to die in someone's house, isn't it? Like imagine like dying as a comic, but you don't even know about it. Like you're like the 1,000 deaths after death. But no, the lockdown has been tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've lost a lot of my work. A lot of it's gone. Like before lockdown, I was just being accelerated in the comedy pantheon of Northern Ireland. I was asked to do warm up for Stephen Nolan. Yeah, I know. To warm up that pile of hate and bile and all those people. No, I'll just take you through my audition, because I did the audition and then lockdown happened. They were like, sorry Ronan, it's over. So I'll just take you through the audition. Okay, so it's like everybody, please turn to the people beside you and hate them like they are your enemy. And welcome to the stage for Stephen Nolan's warm-up, Ronan Lenski. It's good to see you there. No, keep the hate in for now. Just a wee bit of laughter before you spew your bile all over the TV screens. Big Stephen there, getting ready. It's good to see you. Wee bit of weight loss, it's always good to see you. Good to see less of you. So, did you see that Sue Perkins from the Great British Bake Off? This is all current material from the Great British Bake Off. I was just watching it the other night. Sue Perkins from the Great British Bake Off is dating the host of the show where people are naked. Naked Attraction. That's the one. That must be weird. I was just watching that the other night too. It's current. Everything's current. Everything's current when it's on the internet. That must be weird. They must get home and go, "Hey honey, how was your day at work?" And you go, "Well, someone got voted off for having a soggy bottom." And she'd be like, "And what was Bake Off like?" Just give me. I'll get it. I'll get them on the next one. You make me nervous. Did anyone see that Steve Jones, Channel 4 Steve Jones, of course, we all know him and love him. He's hosting Formula One. And he's also hosting Sex Box. I was just watching it the other night. It's still on. And that must be weird when he gets home from work, because his partner must be like, how was work today? And he'd be like, well, someone was going far too fast while coated in latex material in a very small, cramped space. And they'd be like, and what was Formula 1 like? Or the other one, whatever. I don't know which is funnier. Just give me some time. Come on, baby. I've got the photographs. Did you guys see the president-elect Donald Trump? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Hillary all the way. Let's keep the status quo. Did anyone see that President-elect Donald Trump is being supported in his election campaign by Dana White of the UFC? That must be weird, because they must get home from work. And he'd be like, what were you doing today? He's like, well, I was trying to stop a very angry man from Central and Southern America from entering through a hole in a wire fence to be violent, which is a negative stereotype at the best of times, and downright racist at the worst. And he'd be like, and what happened in the UFC? Or the White House, whichever you prefer. Come on, you got this. Like, Stephen, I'll say goodnight. Thanks very much, guys. I'm in Lenski. And that's how it went. Still waiting on the call. So, Stephen, if you're watching this from your home, another chance, please. Just another chance. Oh dear, comedy. No, it is good to be here at the Belfast Whiskey Festival, playing to people at home, because I'm sure it is being hard at home for some people. Some people are having affairs right now. No one thinks of them. Because you can't really just go out for 2 days without coming back. People do ask questions. If you are having an affair, if you look to your partner to the left or right of you, or in front of you, or maybe upstairs in their neighbour's bedroom, don't be brokenhearted, because affairs happen all the time. And maybe you might want to pull out an old classic, Love Actually. Love Actually teaches us about affairs. Alan Rickman, of course, has an affair with the woman who is more attractive than Emma Thompson. I mean, she is. We can understand why he did it. She is more attractive visually. They tried to paint her as horrible, and you're like, well, maybe she also likes, I looked at love from both sides now. We all decided Alan Rickman was a bad man. So if you're having an affair, I just say go rewatch that, think about things, and what you can learn is the way to get out of having an affair. Because as you famously saw, she finds out and she goes, "Oh, you've made my life foolish." And he says, "I've been a classic fool," which is Alan Rickman's impersonation of a duck. But that is my advice. Like, if you ever have an affair, just remember those couple of words. I've been a classic fool, and everything's fine again. She goes upstairs. She goes, puts a wee bedspread on the bed, and goes, "It's fine," And if you really want to get meta, what I suggest is you take up a role as a jester in the town centre, and your wife will be like, "He's buying a lot of belled shoes and belled hats." Then you can continue your affair, and then you can get the guilt. You can get rid of that, because you can come into your wife and go, "I've been a classic fool," and there'll be all wee bells jangling every. She go, "I know, I can see," and you're like, "So we're clear." Oh dear. I'm sure a lot of men will edit that bit out of me looking at my hand trying to remember material. It's been a while since I've done a gig. It's been a long time since I've done a good gig anyway. I think there's a few near the start. A lot of men at home probably find it difficult. The wife's on your back, the other husband's on your back. That sounds awful. I don't mean awful, I mean fine. Edit all this out. Just have me coming on and saying, "Belfast Whiskey Week, here's your £60, go home." But it must be hard. It must be difficult, because a lot of men are now seeing the woman's work. A lot of men. I'm not one to sit here on my high horse pretend that I was pulling my weight in the house. Michael McIntyre's a great comedian. This is kind of. But he, a lot of men will be sitting at home going, look at the jobs my wife does during the day. Before I prided myself on cleaning the toilets. And when I say clean the toilets, what I meant was, if I saw a tiny bit of poo on the inner bowl, what I would do is I would drink several litres of water, devote my day to weighing that off. And that was the height of my cleaning. What I will say for men who hear that and think that's a smart plan, don't think that bodily fluids can be interchanged. If you see some pee in the seat, some toilet paper will suffice. Don't start trying to poo that. start trying to poo that pee off, you will make a mess. But yeah, no, it's good to be doing whiskey. It's good to be at something is what comedians do when they're moving on to another bit. So when you say comedian, it's good to be. What the mean is my brain stopped. I need to think. Belfast Whiskey Week is a good thing. I enjoy whiskey. I started just drinking whiskey quite young, in a way, in the womb. My mum was irresponsible. No, through the umbilical cord, it had lovely notes of spleen juice. I didn't do well in school. But whiskey, what people don't know about whiskey is whiskey was invented just for old men. People don't realise, like a lot of people in Ireland now are trying to take on the tropes of old men. Like I started learning the bothering, and an old man came down the street, was like, "That's not for you, son." And whiskey drinking as well. Traditionally when you were growing up, it would have just been old men drinking whiskey. It's not for us. Like you see adverts with David Beckham drinking, it's like, it's not for you, mate. You stick to your flaming sambucas. Because whiskey is for old men in the same way that a long hair protruding from the tip of their nose is. Whenever you're an old man in Ireland, it's almost a full-time occupation to drink whiskey and to be an old man. Like once you turn 50 in Ireland, they take you to a beauty centre, they graft on some hairs below your eyebrows, on your eyelids. They give you like hair on the palms of your hands, and they extend, like I said, they extend a very long hair coming out of your nose. Because in Ireland, that's a lot of our economy is built on the backs of old men. Like I think they said something like 40% of Ireland's GDP is from old men who are stopped to have their picture taken for a postcard. I think that's a big thing. And I look forward to those days. But whiskey, like I said, whiskey was invented for old men as an excuse for erectile dysfunction. Because if you go online, you look up whiskey, even on the NHS website, there's in inverted commas whiskey dick. You didn't hear Pele talking about whiskey dick, in those adverts. But that, men in Ireland couldn't perform their duty, so they took to drinking whiskey as an excuse. The woman was like, "You can't get up." And you're like, "Drinking a litre of whiskey a day here. I'm keeping this country afloat." And a lot of men, of course, Irish women became used to the cunnilingus. Of course, Irish women famously were very into that. As the hair on the nose could be used as a kind of, on the rabbit, like that bit that the nose goes in and the hair stays out. We've all heard these. It's in old Irish myths, but the wild swans at Cool, the old hairy nose in the back alley. But I'm not going to be ashamed if this goes viral. Just allow it to. I can't hold back success. But I'm not ashamed to admit this. I had erectile dysfunction. Give us a big cheer from your houses if you had erectile dysfunction. No. All right. Quiet room. The kids are.
I'm not in the house.
You're not exactly. A lot of people in this room have erectile dysfunction right now, but that's just because of my leather vest. But I had erectile dysfunction. I was dating a woman in Dublin. So basically, every other weekend, I would get the air coach and I would travel up and down. I'd go down to Dublin. Should have been going down somewhere else. I'm still in pain. The pain's still raw. But yeah, basically I had erectile dysfunction, and I look back. I wasn't drinking the whiskey. I didn't know about that. She was watching me all night drinking the flaming sambucas. Had a very trim beard like David Beckham, and she thought I'm going to get a very good night's loving. And what she got was someone crying into the back of her hair. But it was tough. One thing out there for the men at home, squirming in their seat, their wife putting a cold hand on their knee and looking at them lovingly and pretending that the marriage hasn't died. One piece of advice is not to be ashamed. You love your soft penis. Put on some Barry White, put the condom on, come out of the shower with the condom on, watch as the condom shrivels up and falls onto the floor and becomes unusable. So it's also an economic failure. But and your wife also thinks of you that way. But like I said, don't be ashamed. Try, because men when they have erectile dysfunction, they're trying to make love to a woman. They're like, "Oh, it'll be fine. I'll get it in," and it's not going in. It's the way I describe what it felt like to make love with a woman with a soft penis. It was a lot like trying to push, a Calippo ice cream. It was a lot like trying to push one of those directly into a furnace. The more I pushed, the less of it there was. By the end, it was almost inside me. And for the women on the sofa, don't try and, don't overdo it. It's not like a broken TV. It's not like, if it's starting to go off the best thing to do is to bang harder on the top of it. It's not going to work. Certainly don't go around the back and start fiddling with the wires. Unless you know what you're doing. Anyway, I've been Ronan Lenski. I've got a soft willy. Thank you very much. Enjoy my Whiskey Week. Enjoy your Whiskey Willy.